Welcome to Eltham Osteopathy Clinic. This is Darren, and glad Darren's joined us today to talk about back pain, which is something that a lot of people suffer from and don't particularly know what to do. So I'm just going to hand you over to Darren, and Darren's going to fill you in on a little bit of Darren's history. So tell us what life was like before you came to see us. And the things you've been through and the things you've done.
Life was a constant battle of pain. The pain was there all the time. No matter what I'd done, the pain was there. I'd been to see numerous people. Had operations on my lower back to remove a bulge on one of my discs, which wasn't successful. Within probably 3 months, 4 months of having the operation, sort of realised immediately that it hadn't worked, went back, was re-scanned, the bulge reappeared, see some more people, which is what I've done. I must have seen probably 5 to 6 different osteopaths throughout a 10-year period really, and got nowhere. And I was recommended coming here, and my initial thought was, it's another osteopath where I'm going to get the same results. But I can recall being so poorly at work one day, sitting down and in immense pain, and I thought to myself, let me try, give it a go and see where I get to, which is what I've done. I got in touch with Paul, probably 3.5 years, maybe 3 years ago now, and I can remember coming to see Paul, and my first thing was, why are certain people recovering, having back pain and recovering quicker? And his initial words were, they are seen more frequently than you. And at the time I was being seen by an osteopath once every 2 weeks, and Paul's words were, it's not enough. And obviously as a customer, my initial thought was, it's going to cost me a lot of money. And I persevered, went down Paul's route, and I've got to say, probably within about 8 visits, I started feeling a massive improvement. And you don't really notice when you start to improve, you just know that what was there isn't as bad as it was. And probably over a 6-month period, my life improved massively. I wasn't having sleepless nights where as soon as you went to sleep, as soon as I moved in the night, I was in pain. As soon as I got up in the morning, I was in pain. Dealing with children was painful, which would then result in me being constantly grumpy because I was in pain.
Yeah.
And like I say, after probably, realistically, it was probably maybe the 10th visit, you start to think, that ain't where it was, that pain level was not as bad. And you just continue to go, and the progression is there. And I'm now at a stage where I can now go to the gym more, I ride my bike more, I go golf more. These are things I was just not able to do.
Yeah.
Sneezing was the worst thing for me. I used to hate getting the twinge to sneeze because it would rattle through my back, and it got to a stage where you want to fall over, and these events would happen and you want to fall over.
Yeah.
And little things like getting out of the car. I know it sounds so basic, I struggled to get in and out of cars.
Yeah.
Because of that movement you were putting your back in, it just hated it. And obviously seeing yourself has changed me around massively.
Good. Well, thank you. So I remember when you first came in, and again, we have this a lot. Patients go to lots of other different therapists, and they're seen maybe once a week, or in your case, once every 2 weeks. And I always explain to patients, it's like going to the gym. When you go to the gym, you have to go a lot more frequently to start with to make a change. And unfortunately, a lot of different osteopaths and physios out there just don't see their patients enough. And in your case, you've been to see 4 or 5 different physios, 4 or 5 different osteopaths, and no one had gotten results. No. And I was probably I don't know, again, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but I was probably one of the first osteopaths who sat down with you and told the truth and said, look, you're going to need 20 treatments over the course of about 4 to 5 months to get this better, and I'm going to need to see you 2 or 3 times a week. And we got those results.
We got them results, and like I say, everyone else I saw, come back in 2 weeks' time, go and rest, come back in 2 weeks' time. And I got, after every visit, I was no better. Nothing had improved. And this is not a short-term thing, this was going on for years and years through various different people. And honestly, I was getting nowhere. And I couldn't possibly get any lower emotionally.
Yeah.
I was at the bottom, and my family will say, you're grumpy all the time because you're constantly in pain.
I remember you coming in, it's just come to me, I remember you coming in saying to me, you went, do you know what, I stopped shouting at the wife and kids.
You stop, you don't know, it just stops, and you stop feeling as bad as you felt.
Yeah.
And you have to try and remember how bad you was to realise how much you've improved.
Yeah.
And for me, sneezing is the main thing for me.
Yeah.
I can now sneeze and not worry about it,
Yeah.
which is nice, because honestly, sneezing would have been something I dreaded.
Yeah.
Dreaded.
So I looked at the notes, you were in pain for about 11 years.
Yeah.
And then about 4 years ago you had a back operation, you were off work for about 3 months. The back operation didn't work,
No.
you were on drugs every day, you were on tablets every day given you by the doctor, you seem to see lots of different people. We saw you for about 4 to 5 months and then we got you better. Now we've seen you for about, what, 3.5 years, and you haven't had any problems in those 3.5 years.
Nothing.
And you come in on a regular basis and it prevents future problems.
Sometimes I can feel when I'm due in again, because don't get me wrong, you still get a form of pain, which I think I'm always going to get, but it is so much more manageable, I can handle it, it's not intense. My pain levels were probably over 10, and then when it gets sore now, my pain levels are probably down to a 2, which is very low, and what I find, it recovers quicker.
Yeah.
My back, when it gets a bit sore, it gets a little bit probably tense, because the muscles will spasm to protect them areas, it will die down much quicker.
Yeah.
It will die down and it will just start to relax again.
Yeah, good.
But,
so again, when people are watching this, what would you say to them? Would you just say to them, look, give it a go?
100%, and don't be put off by someone's comments, you need to be seen twice a week for 10 weeks. Yeah, it will cost, there's no doubt about that, but you will 100% feel the benefits, I'm sure you will. And I think that is the main reason people don't get the results they want, because they're not seen enough.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just not managed right.
Not managed right, no.
And they don't get seen enough or for long enough. We live in a short-term society, don't we? And people want results
quick. It doesn't.
Quick.
It's not quick.
And I say to patients, look, I'm not Jesus.
No, it's not quick.
But I will get results if you give me the time.
Yeah, 100%. This clinic will get you results, and it might not be within the time frame you want, as in immediately 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but I would probably say over a 10 to 12 week period, you will start to feel at least 50% better than you was 12 weeks ago.
Yeah. And
just push on with it. Don't then think, oh, I'm okay. Push on with it, because I think that is why I'm having so much positivity out of it, because I go every month without fail, and it just realigns you, puts things back where they should be, and that will then take pressure off what was the bad areas.
Yeah. And again, your case will be longer than a lot of other patients' cases, because yours is quite a serious case. You've had it for so long, it's so chronic. You also had a back operation. So, for those thinking, watching this, oh my God, it's going to take a long time. It will, but remember Darren's case was a particularly challenging case, and a lot of people do get better quicker than that. Within probably 3 months, I would say most people are out of pain. So yeah.
I was at the stage, I would see another physio probably 6 years ago, and I couldn't even bend forward without shunting one way or the other, because my back was so sore. When I tried to flex, my body went forward, then went to the side, then went down, and it went up. My body moved around the pain, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I've got videos to show that, and like the guy that I was seeing said, I've never seen anything like that, never.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even sit up. I couldn't do a sit up, and I was probably middle age, middle 30s, 35 years of age. And I remember saying to this guy, well, should I be able to do a sit up? And he went, of course you should. But my back was in so much pain, it just wouldn't. I couldn't possibly do it.
Yeah.
And I can do all that now.
Good.
And I can do all that, and I can do it comfortably, which is nice.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but like I say, you will get results, 100%, and I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
You just have to believe in it.
Good.
And if it doesn't happen after the second week, it will happen. Just be patient.
It will happen. Be patient. Good. Okay. Well, look, thank you so much for talking to our tribe and the people that we see. I really appreciate that, sharing your experiences, because again, there are a lot of people watching this video who maybe have tried other places and think, oh, it doesn't work, or their doctor has told it doesn't work. I'm sure your doctor probably told you it doesn't work. You know, and it does. It works most of the time, actually. But the two things, you've got to be seen more often, and you've got to be seen for longer. And as long as you prepare for those two things, you will get results like Darren has.
And it is not all down to the painkillers. You
No.
do not have to take them. Once you're at that level where you're comfortable, I've not took a painkiller for a long time.
So you were on painkillers for probably 5-6 years, every single day.
All sorts of things.
And in the last 3.5 years, how many painkillers you had?
I've probably had the odd ibuprofen.
Yeah.
When it feels a little bit more uncomfortable, I'll take a little ibuprofen for maybe 24 hours, and I won't take them for probably another 4 to 5 months. I can't remember the last one I took.
Good.
But I was on a constant course of maybe tramadol, medication. This is strong medication, and I still wasn't out of pain. I was still in pain. So it shows the medication don't always work.
No.
You need to be treated, and you need to be treated by the right people. Definitely.
Lovely. Well, thanks, Darren.
See you in a month.
Lovely. See you in a month's time.